Was a girl running in a group. She had a high-speed motor in a 40 Ford coupe. She had a racing cam and a supercharged. Look at Buddy, hot rod and large. She's a hot rod. She's a hot rod.
Ford eases driving for cancer patients. The Ford support belt is designed to reduce painful seatbelt pressure on women recovering from a mastectomy. They have to drive too, you know. I mean, the whole sickness thing is out of hand in this country, I'll tell you right now. Ford is giving away the support belt for free through a website. You got to see the picture of it. Go to the Ford's website and look at it. The support belt. It's very padded and comes across. It's just really nice. It's built right. Through the website that launched October 1st, you can get one. Shipments are expected to start in November. The device has proved so popular that providers of the first batch sold out within the first day. I don't doubt it. It's got to be painful to have that thing going across your chest after they just got operated on. The idea for the support belt came from Lynn Simoncini, a creative director at Ford Marketing. Did I say that right? Wow. VML in Detroit. Simoncini, that sounds better, had a double mastectomy after being diagnosed with breast cancer in 2022. And she found driving to be an agonizing experience during her recovery because of the seatbelt. Do what I do and don't wear it. Never mind. She and partner.
The comments by George do not represent those of the station, the owners of blah, blah, blah.
Okay, yeah, you're right. She and partner Chad Willems at VML wrote up a proposal to Ford, which began developing prototypes. I couldn't believe there wasn't a product made that makes your seatbelt comfortable to wear and that also happens to look good. And it does. I saw, you got to see the picture of this. Oh yeah, this is perfect for people that have, I had lung surgery, and my chest was very, very sensitive for a while. But the seatbelt wasn't a problem. All right, now, Charles, you got to hear this. Well, I'm sure you already did. He pays attention, Charles does. And he wants to catch me, really. It's just the way my buddy Charles is. Florida has seen 16 lithium-ion battery fires in the wake of the storm. 6 associated with electric vehicles, according to Jimmy Petronas, the state's CEO and fire marshal. CFO and fire marshal. One much-watched video circulating shows a Tesla in a Siesta Key garage that caught fire because of saltwater exposure.
Yeah, this is the one we talked about last week.
Yeah.
Where they actually brought it in after the flood. So they got wet, they brought it in, and it caught fire later.
It just jumped up. Here's why. When the water gets into the battery, ions are able to make a shortcut across the separator, and move in an uncontrolled way through the battery system. This generates self-sustaining heat that can boil the electrolyte fluid in the battery, that's acid, causing a lot of pressure and potentially igniting a fire. Well, apparently not potentially, it did. Salt water exacerbates the problem. Salt makes the water more conductive. Oh yeah, I didn't know that. Providing an even quicker and easier way for ions to move chaotically across the system. So in these electric cars in the battery, you got these little ions swimming around all over the place. Florida is advising electric vehicle owners impacted by the hurricane to leave the vehicle windows and doors open to vent gases. Oh, good. Move vehicles to open air locations and disable vehicles and wait to charge them until they are confirmed to be safe. So you got to park it until somebody says, it's okay. Go ahead and charge it. I'm rolling the window down to open and doors open to vent the gases. That's what Sandy does when we're on vacation. All right, column. Toyota Motors, king of the hybrids reputation, and they are paying off right now. I'm telling you, it's hybrid time, Charles. This whole battery electric vehicle, say goodbye. Stick a fork in it. It's going to be around, but it's not going to be very much. It's going to be two good makers, probably Tesla. I'm not sure, but everybody's raving about the BMW electric car. I haven't seen one yet. Chevy, no, no. I drove a Bolt. It's different. It's like the world's fastest golf cart, but that's just no. And I couldn't get out of it. They got me in it. They had to get two guys to get me out of it. It's that small, Chevy Bolt. The Japanese automaker sales were down in September, but sales of electrified vehicles rose to a record ratio. Yes, they did. They are flying. Last month, Toyota Motor North America sell vehicles. So they're selling one and one. I don't think it's happening here in the United States. This might be the company, Toyota might be the company that stays viable. And I know it's not going to be a couple of them. And that's what we were. That's what they do with electric, plug-in electric vehicles. So Toyota and Lexus sold a combined 162,595 vehicles in September. That's down about 20% from a year earlier. For the month, Toyota brand sales were down 21% to 140,000 vehicles, while Lexus was down 15%. And yet, within that, this month, sales of Toyota rose 22% to 78,683. That's a lot of cars. Not a lot, but it's some. Hybrid is still synonymous with Toyota. Hybrids have gained in popularity as familiarity with the electrification has grown, and they are seen as an interim step. I'm talking about batting this ball back and forth for how long? A year, maybe more. Sometimes they got to get. I got to go for a funeral. For a funeral. If it's 2 days away, I want to make sure I get there. That's just not as charging the battery. And it's perfect. I'm telling you, they are really stingy on gas. This hydrogen thing corralled. It's a last go around hydrogen. And I'll store it in your car, and I'll burn it in your car and make it safe. We've got a bunch of them out there already. But we need to build hybrids. We definitely do. I'm with them. I'm with them 100%. Here. As a more cost-effective alternative to plug-ins and full electric, as it seeks to diversify its electrified lineup and tap surging forward. We'll study options for standard hybrid electric vehicles or HEVs, hybrid electric vehicles. Unite Chris planning set. You know, we're going to do it. We never do it. Okay. Yeah, this is going to happen. She's already got a range of plug-in hybrids in the U.S. under the 4XE badge. I'm telling you, by branching into hybrids, Jeep could catch a wave of U.S. consumer enthusiasm. Hello? I think that's great. I think that's a great thing. And I want them to be. This is where we have to go. Automakers across the board, from Toyota to Ford to Hyundai and Volvo, are seeing hybrid sales zoom in the U.S. as car makers or car buyers turn to them as a more affordable alternative to full electric. They are also unencumbered by concerns about the range or recharging infrastructure. There you go. You don't have to find a charging station. You don't have to worry about, can I make it to Wisconsin? Can I make it to Calumet City? If anybody still goes there. I don't know. Does anybody go to Cal City? You go to Cal City anymore, Chuck? You ever been there?
Yeah, I go there occasionally.
Yeah. They tore down all the joints. The infamous State Street is gone. Oh, well. Did you know the analytics research firm in Traffic Safety Report suggests automakers prefer benefits of the ADAs despite the expense and driver confusion? What the story is about: some ADAs feature are in more than 90% of new vehicles already. I know I've got a bunch in mind. I know I do. Yeah. The report, published October 2nd by the Partnership for Analytics Research in Traffic Safety, found that 5 ADAs, forward collision warning, automatic emergency braking, pedestrian detection warning, pedestrian automatic emergency braking, and lane departure warning, which I've experienced, are each in more than 90% of the 2023 vehicles. Automatic emergency braking, for example, is present in 94% of the 2023 model year vehicles, surging from 4% in 2015. So they've come a long way, baby. That's how that works. More technology, more goes in the car. Forward collision warning was also in 94% of vehicles, up from 12% in 2015. So we're just unbelievable. Many automakers make voluntary commitments to offer automatic braking in new passenger vehicles starting in 2022. That's what they said. More than half of 2023 model passengers cars have 10 out of 14 of the features included in the survey. These features include adaptive cruise control, blind spot warning, and lane keeping assistance. I think I have the adaptive cruise control. I'm not real sure. I haven't never left town. If I get on the highway, I might be able to do that. But that's just as it is. The assisted driving additive, something, they're in your cars now, whether you like it or not. I mean, there's some you can go into the dash and turn them off. Not all of them. And I've got to tell you a few things that are going on. I keep bringing stuff up. I'm not going to hold back and tell you that these things aren't happening. They are still developing the electric vehicle unbelievably. And the government is still subsidizing them, and they're still fighting for new batteries and fighting for this and fighting for that. When everybody now wants a hybrid, why don't they perfect the hybrid? And not a plug-in hybrid either. The heck with that. Charge it with your battery, with your alternator. Well, here. More than 1,000 battery and technology suppliers will gather in Detroit next week for the battery show against an ominous backdrop. Tepid electric vehicle sales, growing interest in hybrids, and stark competition with China. I'm telling you, the hybrids are the way to fly. See, and China's a big country, but in Europe, they like those plug-ins. They don't have to go very far. They just go, if you go 100 miles in a day in Europe, you can cross 5 countries. Give me a break. There's nothing to them. But anyway, they're going to gather in Detroit, the battery show, ominous backdrop. The companies will show their technology at sprawling Huntington Place, home of the Detroit Auto Show. It marks a larger location from last year's venue in Novi, about 30 miles from Detroit. The expo and conference, running from October 7th to 10th, expected to attract more than 19,000 attendees and more than 200 speakers. I don't consider that very much. I really don't, Charles. The event will focus on EV battery components, the supply chain, battery health, and longevity. Battery recycling. There's another key. Wait, don't get me started on that. My gosh. Solid state technology. Come on, baby. EV range, hybrids role in electrification and competition with China. For the life of me, we're still doing it. We're still having, and now we're having this electric battery show. We don't even have a good electric battery yet, but we're having a show about it. Come on. And here, the companies are still dumping big dough into this whole deal. It's insane. Here, production starts at Hyundai's massive electric vehicle factory in Georgia. U.S. assembled versions of the 2025 Hyundai Ioniq 5 compact crossover will arrive at dealer lots later this year. Of course, they got to be made in America to get the tax credit, to get that $7,500. Assembly of the compact electric crossover begins less than 2 years after the Korean automaker broke the ground on a 3,000-acre meta plant site in Byron County outside of Savannah. Listen to this. Get this. The meta plant will build 6 electric vehicles for Hyundai, Genesis, and Kia brands, and will also house a battery factory as part of a joint venture with the group and LG Energy Solution. Those are the people that they had problems. The battery portion of the factory will not open until 2025. Jeez, oh Pete. Total investment in the electric vehicle and battery plant. Are you ready for this, Charles? $7.59 billion. That's billion with a B. The plant will have an initial capacity to build 300,000 electric vehicles, but can increase to 500,000 depending on demand. There is no demand for electric vehicles. Hybrids,